so that I can send you the recording, okay? And then you can always revisit the recording if you have any issues that you cannot solve. This is the My Drafts area. This is an area where teachers author projects. So every single one of these are a project tile. And the plus button here allows you to create new projects. So we have several ways of creating new projects. The one that we recommend most is to use our Project Pulse catalog. The catalog has different types of projects. We have starter projects, which are 1 to 2 day projects. And the reason that it is so short is because it usually only has 1 tab to it. So we recommend maybe starting with this. We also have templates, which are more general types of projects. Things like, for example, if you do a historical event, you can use the historical event template, no matter what type of historical event, that probably will address it, or biography and so on. We also have lesson plans, and lesson plans are more subject specific. And here, you have things like how to plan a budget for a school, or you are what you eat, or imagine life after the coronavirus, all these things. And then we also have completed projects, and completed projects are projects that students already finished. So if you want to see what you can expect from your students when they finish a project, it's a good idea to visit one of these projects. We also have single tab templates. And you'll see in a minute what I mean by tabs, but this is just one tab, the entire project. We have a whole series of them. The reason we created them is because we created a new way of actually creating new projects. So one way of creating a new project, and this is the way probably that we recommend most that you start with, is to select a project and then clone it once you like it. Once you went into the project and you liked it, then you press the clone button and assign it to your students. So that's the first way. But then we also have 2 more ways. And one of them is to use our project wizard. And the project wizard is using all those 1 tab templates to allow you to actually mix and match those in a way that fits whatever your needs are in the classroom. And we are adding to those 1 tab templates all the time. So we'll have more and more in them. So to start the project using the wizard, you have to click on the plus button here. And then it opens up. And let's say that I want to now create a project. I'm going to call it just test, and just type here something. And then to add an image to the project, that's really easy, because all we have to do is just add a new tab, do a search in Google of the topic that you're interested in, go to images, and then just select an image and right click and copy image address, and then go back to Project Pause and click here. Actually, no, sorry. This is to search for an image on the hard drive, and you have it on your hard drive. But then you need to insert, when you get it from the internet, insert the URL, just paste it and click go, and then click OK. And here we are providing you a few 1 tab templates that could start a project. Like, for example, let's say you want to start a project by doing a brainstorm, or you just want a simple introduction template, or maybe an observation. Maybe your students are going to do an observation, and so on. So let's say that we are going to start it with a brainstorm. And then you can add more. You can add more phases. So let's say I'm going to add a phase. And now it gives me, again, a few more suggestions of adding additional templates. So let's say that now after the brainstorm, I want an observation. I'm going to select that. And maybe after the observation, I don't see anything here that can help me. So I'm going to now click on the more templates. And here I have a whole selection of them. And let's say after that, I just want to do, I don't know, I want to do an ideate template. And now I'm going to press finish. So this combination, now it's going to create for me a custom project that I just created from single taps. The first one is the brainstorm. The second one is the observation that students are going to do. And it has scaffolding and everything. And I'm going to introduce you in a minute to all this. And then finally the ideate, which is basically they are identifying problems in what they were observing and then finding solutions for them. So this is a custom project that you can create. The third way, of course, of doing this is that when you press the plus button and you type the project name and the description, and I'm going to skip this, you can select the blank option. And when you select the blank option and then press finish, then it creates for you, then you can create your project from scratch. That means that you really feel comfortable with this, and now you can start creating your project. So that's probably the last option that we suggest in this case. Let me just go back here. Now, the thing that I like to start with is to add your students to create your classes. So are you guys a Google Classroom school?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so if you are a Google Classroom school, it's really easy. Let me just log out for a second from this account because this is my admin account, and log into one that I have my Gmail, my Google Classroom, my sample Google Classroom. And here to import yours. So first of all, there's a section that's called My Classes, and next to it, there's a plus button. And when you click on the plus button, then you can go to Create Class. And you see that there is a button here that says Import Google Classroom. And this is where it gives you a check mark, a list that you can check mark of all your classes. And in order to import, all you have to do is just check mark one or multiple, and then import, and that class will be added on the top here, and the members are listed here. So that's a way to actually import your Google Classroom. So maybe this is an opportunity. I sent you an email this morning that says sign up and sign in links. Why don't you go there, and why don't you select the teacher sign up link and sign up to Project Pals? And why don't you import also your Google Classrooms?
Okay. Okay, so I'm already signed in as myself.
Okay. Oh, so okay.
And I have the one project.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I have the one from the free trial.
Okay. So you know what? Yeah, that's a problem now, because if you are already signed in with the free trial option, it only allows you to do that one project. Okay. So let me make sure that our tech team is going to consolidate that and move that one project into the new account that I created for you.
Okay.
And then you'll be able, you don't need to use anymore the sign up link.
Okay.
You just need to use the sign in link.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that, and then you can click on the plus button here, and go to create class, and then you will have that button that says import my Google Classrooms, and you can import them. Okay.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Um, so I'm gonna just continue here.
Sure.
So once you have your class, so let's say that I'm gonna just go into my, I don't know, let's go to the robotics class here. And what do you teach? What subject do you teach? Social studies?
I teach STEM. I'm in charge of the STEM program at my school.
Oh, okay. So robotics is fine for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So once I'm in here and I go to, so I have the following. If I go to members, I see the students in the class. And I see on the top, I see myself as a teacher and a co-teacher with me. So you can have co-teachers. The way you add a co-teacher is you just, here next to my classes, there's a class code on the top, and you will tell that other teacher that class code. They will come in, of course, they will need to be signed up, and they will come in and they will select the join class here and add that code, and they will be part of the class. If that other teacher also wants to add her class roster into this class, then all she needs to do is give them the same class code and they will be part of this. So you can work in collaboration with other teachers. Now, there are several ways. So let's say that you are in my drafts here. You just created this project here and you want to share it. You want to assign it to the class. So there are several ways to do that. One of them is, first of all, I'm going to go into the project. And here I have a few buttons. One of them is assign to class. So I'm going to click on the assign to class button. And here it gives me a list of all my classes. Now I know I want to assign it, let's say, to my robotics class. And I'm going to now, and once I do that, it enables these two buttons. One of them is the create teams. This is where you are going to create your teams ahead of time. So that's that. The other option is that you will delegate, that you want to delegate the students to actually create their own teams. What that means is, and I'm going to show you in a minute how that is done. What that means is that you will pick, or the students will pick team leaders, and only the team leaders will do this, unless this is a project that is actually should be done by every single student. When this is a project that should be done by every single student, then you will choose this one, skip teams and assign, and then each student will, in a minute I'll show you how, will choose this to start the project. So let's say that right now I'm just going to create the teams ahead of time. I'm going to press the create teams button, and now it gives me a list of all my students in that class. Now I can start matching them up. I'm going to go choose this student with this student, and I'm going to press add teams, and this one with this one, and add teams, and this and this. And finally, I have one last one. And then I'm going to say finish and assign. And now what happened? In my robotics class, I have now 4 teams that I just created with their names on it. And all they have to do, once you import them, like I said, when you import them from your Google Classrooms, they don't need to sign up anymore. They just need to log into the system. And they of course need to log in with the same uh, login credentials that they use when they log into Google Classrooms. And once they log in, they are inside here, and they will come to the robotics class and come to projects, and they will find their project with their names on it, and they be able to start working. So that's that option. Option number 2, as I said before, so let's say that I'm going to take this test project and I'm going to assign it. I'm just going to go and press assign to class. And I'm going to select the same robotics class. But this time I'm going to go skip teams and assign. And that's when you are actually delegating this to the class. Now, what happened in the robotics class under assignments, there is my test class. And this is where your role as a teacher ends and your students' role starts. They will now log in, come to the robotics class, go to assignments. And if this is an individual project that every single student does it without any other team members in the team, then every single one of them will press the start button and their project will show up in projects. If this is a team project, then only the team leader will press the start button. So if I'm pressing here start, it tells me, gives me a message. It says, oh, only the team leader should do this if this is a team project. And then it gives me here a list of students. You know, I apologize. I'm just going to bring my water. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Okay, so here what happens is that you have a list of all the students, so that that team leader can choose one of the students here that is going to work with him and press confirm. And what happens is, let me show you what happened here. In the robotics class under project, here is the test project that was created by that student with that other team member in it. Okay, so that's the other way of doing it. All right, so moving on. Let's just go to one of these, maybe one of these projects actually. And let's say that I'm going to take one of these projects that I just created. I'm one of these teams. And go in here and start. So first of all, this is the project dashboard, okay? This is the project description. So if you want to change this little test description and you want to say this project is about, and whatever it is about, you can do that. You have the whole editing tools here on the top. When students start working, you will start seeing here a pie chart. And the pie chart is going to show what percentage of the work is done by each student. Students can see that section. That is a great motivator for them because they, they don't want to be the smallest piece of the pie. Here you can add a project video. If you have a video with instructions or anything, you can add that here. If you want to add standards, you click on the standards here and you press the plus button over here. And now you can select what type of standard. Let's say you're selecting the Common Core. You are selecting, I don't know, let's go to, you said STEM, so let's go to, not Common Core, sorry. Let's go to NGSS and and select whatever, life science. I'm just selecting something. And middle school. And then you just select the ones that apply here. And then you just press the save button and they will be all listed here. Okay. Supporting materials. Now, to add supporting materials, you can add any supporting materials. So I don't know, I'm just going to put in here life science, some article about life science. And I'm going to go to Wikipedia here and select the URL of the Wikipedia and go back to Project Pals. And now click on the plus button here and paste the URL. And here is my first resource showing up here. And so students, when they are coming, they can click on the link. It's going to open up in a new tab and they can start reading whatever resources you're going to provide them with. You can add here the following types of files. You can add websites like I did here. You can add YouTube videos, MP3 files that are no more than 50 megabytes, any G Suite file, and any Office 365 files and PDFs. All these can be listed here. Tasks. Now, you as a teacher can assign tasks to your students, or your students can assign tasks to themselves. All you or they have to do, just press the plus button here. And what needs to be done? Read about something, and then who will do it? Just select the name of the student that it's going to be assigned to. And what is the priority? Let's say hi, and the due date, and a description how that task is going to be done, and then press add. And so here's the task. Now, when they start working, they will move this task from here to in progress. And when they are finished, they will move it to done. Okay. Statistics right now, you're not going to see anything because students have not contributed yet. Once students start contributing, then you will start seeing here the chart being added. And I'm going to show you how that looks, how a finished project chart looks like. Okay, now let me go to the workspace and let me show you the different types of operations that you can do. And so first of all, this is the workspace. This is where the work is done. And on the top, you have tabs, like tabs in a browser. In Project Pals, we break down projects like into phases. So this is like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That's what the tabs represent. And so you can name them if you want phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or you can give them meaningful names like brainstorming or observation or ideate and so on. And you can rename everything. I mean, it's possible to rename your workspaces and so on. Okay, these are all the operation tools here. So the first tool is our content library. Everything that students contribute to the workspace is being stored in the content library. So when I open the content library, including my scaffolding that I created here, everything is stored here. Now, these are the recent additions to this project. And so let's say that I'm going to open a new tab and I want to reuse some of these things. And let's say that I want to reuse this one. And I'm just opening it up and I'm saying copy to workspace. And it's going to push it there. And now I can reuse it in any of my other workspaces or anything where I need this for. Now, once it overflows here, then it's being organized by category. So all the text boxes will be here, all the questions here, so on and so forth. So here it is. Now the next one is the text tool. So these little ones that look like a sticky note is actually a text box. So if you click inside, so first of all, to create a text box, you click on the A and it creates for you an empty text box. And when you click on it, you have this is click to edit. So you have all the editing tools here to start editing. When you decide that you don't need this anymore, you are going to archive it. There is no permanent deletion in Project Pals. Everything that is being removed from the workspace is stored in the archive. And let's say that you actually change your mind and you need to use it. Now, the reason we are not deleting permanently and putting it in the archive is because many times it happens that students are just deleting, whether inadvertently or sometimes in purpose, either their own things or other people's things. And so to make sure that that doesn't happen and doesn't ruin somebody's work, we are archiving everything. So to go to the archive, you have the show archived on the top. You move the button here to archive. And what I just archived is going to be here, and I can press restore and it's going to show up here. So here is my text box that I just created. Now, all these are also text boxes. So if I click inside and want to actually replace this with an actual brainstorming idea, I can do that and start working. Now, how do I get it to look like a sticky note? I click on the 3-dot little menu and I go to format item. And here I have all these colors that I can color it with. And I also have a place that says mark with pin. And so it looks completely like a sticky note. Now, let's say that your students are going to do here a brainstorm and each student is going to assume a color. And then how do I get another one of these? I want to add another brainstorming idea for myself. So it's really easy. All you have to do is just click and go create copy. And when you do create copy, you have another one with the same color, with all the formatting in it, and just start working. Okay. So that's now we also have the media tool. So you see here an image. So the media is the next one after that. The types of media that you can include in Project Pulse are as follows: are images, are websites, are PDFs, are YouTube videos, MP3 files, and G Suite files, and all types of G Suite files, and all types of Office 365 files, and PDFs, of course. So when you have a media, so let me just go back to the media actually. So let's say that I want to drop this on the workspace. I'm just selecting it and I can place on the workspace. I can also rename everything. So this, I can give it a name, I can call it lamp. And just mark and do this. So I can rename everything. I can then search by media type if I need to. And if I want to drop this on the workspace, all I have to do is just do this and place on workspace. And here is the media that I just dropped. And I can resize it and do anything I want with it. We also have, let me move on to the observations. So what you see here, these are questions. What they have a special label that indicates that these are questions. And so, so how to create a question? Here's the questions tool. I mean, you drop and you click on it, then it creates for you a question placeholder that can be resized, and then you can start typing your question. So that's how we created all these. Now, all these questions, if you don't want to start reformatting and everything, you can just click on the 3 dots and create a copy, and then you can just start and instead type a different question here. So that's also an option, how to create another question. And then let's move on here to the ideate. And here we have several things. So these things we call analysis styles. Now, what does it mean? So this is very similar to the question tool, but instead of saying question, it kind of frames the information that you expect to get above it. So you expect to get the problem defined here because it says problem tile. And here it says solution tile. So how do you do this? The analysis tile is the tool, the third one from the bottom. And when you click on it, then it gives you the 3 default options of problem, solution, and evidence. But you can create custom ones. So let's say that I also want to have a cause tile because I want to specify the cause of something. And here I'm going to say the cause of something, cause of whatever, and I'm going to describe it and I'm going to press create. Now it just created for me the cause tile, and I want to connect the cause to the problem tile. So what you see here, you see that we have something that looks like a mind map, or we have a relationship tool that can connect things to each other. So our relationship tool is the last one here. This is the drawing, but next to it is the relationship tool. And you just have to select what type of line you're going to use, whether it's solid or broken, how thick it is, whether it ends with an arrow, and choose a color. So let's say I'm going to choose blue. And now every object, when the relationship tool is selected, every object in the workspace gets those little blue, purple dots that you can use, and then you can just drag a line from them to that other object. And you can even define the relationship between them. So you can say was caused by or something, whatever you want to call. You want to show that what's the relationship between them, okay? So so that's a relationship. Let me also show you the other tools that I have not shown you yet. So we also have, we are great believers in computational thinking. So computational thinking is the way engineers solve problems. They break down a problem into component parts, and then they solve each problem separately. And then they put it, once they solve it, they put it back together in some logical glue, with some logical glue. So what we have towards computational thinking, one of them is, of course, breaking down the problem into phases. That's one way of doing that. But the other two ways that we support that is that we have something that's called the component tool. And so let me just show you what I mean by the component tool by taking you to a completed project that actually has that in it. And so let me just go here to my science class and open this products in motion project. And so I just wanted to show you, this is how it looks when a project is, students already worked on and they have this pie chart that shows exactly what percentage of the work was done by each student. And then if I go to the workspace here, so this project, the entire project was, the goal of the project was that students are going to create a transport system, are going to build a transport system like the one that Amazon is using it in its fulfillment centers. The one that the robot that's called Kiva, that takes the all types of merchandise from place to place in their fulfillment centers. And so, but the way they had to do this is first to understand how simple machines work. And after that, go to and understand how the fulfillment centers work in Amazon. And finally, they will start building their own. And so, but before understanding simple machines, they had to understand the physics behind it. And so here it starts with the physics. So this is our component tool. Component tool basically says, so what are the main parts of my problem? So clearly they have to understand simple machines, so they have to understand the physics of it. So the main parts are understanding force, understanding motion, understanding energy. So what students are doing, they are creating a component for each of those, and then they are going and doing research, and they are writing down the characteristics of each of these in short sentences. And the big advantage of this is that instead of writing a whole essay about force or about motion, by writing it down in very short sentences, that increases the chance for students to remember these things. And also it reduces cognitive load for them. In addition to it, also encourages collaboration because other students in the team can come and actually see this, and they can weigh in on what the other students wrote here. And if they think that they can contribute to this, then they will add additional characteristics, or they can even discuss something and change something together with the other student. So this really encourages collaboration. You can add as many characteristics as you need. When you exceed 6, then you have this arrow that up and down that will actually, you'll be able to scroll through all the characteristics. So that's the component tool. And really, it's really easy. So when you're creating here, this is the component tool. When you click on it, then it opens up, you type in the name, you add an image here, the same way I showed you, we add images before. And then just to show you what happens inside, when I edit this item, then you see here, the name here is the image. Then I go next, and here are all those branches. So the text for all these branches is written up here. And this is where you are going to add image. You can add images for each of them again. And you can even add more items. And so here we have about 5 steps. and then it's listed like that. The other tool that we have that, and again, we also have, you know, we support GIFs, so you can put GIFs on the workspace. We support, like I said, videos or MP3 files. So this is one of those components that has the arrows because it has more items than 6, so you can scroll through them. The other computational thinking tool is the events tool. So if components are the main parts of a problem and their characteristics, then the events tool is recording processes or algorithms. So in this case, this is the event tool, and these are the main steps of that process. So the process that students are going to describe here is how does the Amazon fulfillment system work? And so these are all steps in the way that it works, and with images and everything. This is a very powerful tool because this is the default way of presenting the event. But there's also 2 more ways to present it. One of them is gallery view, where you can actually see the image big and the text underneath it, and you can scroll through every single one of them like that. We are also adding now video here, so you can put video. So let's say that your students are working on the robot and they want to show every single step how that functions. They can put a video of it here as well. And then the last way, let's say that this is a social studies project and that location has some meaning, or even in STEM, that location has meaning, then you can put it on a Google map. You can click and actually, and I'll show you in a minute how that can be done. And then you can display it here exactly in the location, the image and the description of what happened in this location. To do this, it's to add the location. And so here you can add a date. So this is how we added the date. You actually need to type it because we wanted to allow, if somebody wants to put 500 AD, you wanted them to allow them to actually type that in. And here, and let's say that there is a location here, and let's say that this is going to be, you are from Michigan? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm in Illinois.
Oh, you're in Illinois. Oh, you're from Chicago, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's say that I'm going to now put Chicago here. So I find it in Google Maps here, and I'm going to press save. It's going to provide me with the coordinates of that place. So here you see the coordinates. Okay, and so so that's that. So, and then it's going to map it in those locations, map that information in that location. Now, the other tool that we have that you see here is we have an annotation tool. The annotation tool basically is functioning when you have a big image and you want to delve deeper into some things that are being pointed out on that image. And you kind of want to zero in on it. Let's say that you're working on a project of the heart and you want to show, the students want to put an annotation over every chamber or every artery to show how they function. And then they create these little annotations, and annotations look like this. So in this case, it shows the entire process, how the fulfillment system works. And so when you click on it, you can put an image and you can put a short description of how that works. And instead of putting an image, you can put a video right now. So if you want to explain, oh, it starts this way, and just a short video that explains it, that is possible. So this is the annotation tool. So I already described you, I think, that every single tool here. Now, in addition to that, we have on the bottom left, we have workspace management tools. So let's say that I want to move multiple objects at the same time from place to place. I'm going to click on the arrow here, and this will allow me to select multiple objects together. And now I can move them together if I need to. The next tool is, this is presentation mode. So you can turn this into a presentation. So students that are working here on the project and finish doing it, and they are done, they want to present it to the class, they click on the presentation mode, and this turns it into a presentation. Now they can go and use the arrows to move on from tab to tab and show what they did. Okay. And we also have a zoom in and zoom out and center back to normal. Every single object has you have the ability of adding you as a teacher, and the students can click on the commenting tool and can say, this needs more work or something like that, and then just press comment, and that will, so if I logged in as a if I'm going to log in as the student, I'm going to see a number show up here that's going to say there is a comment, the comment was done. And we also have on the right side, for every tab, we have instructions. So let me explain what's happening here in the right side menu. Until now, we only had the instructions tab here. For every tab, there are instructions, its own instructions. There is an editing tool here that you can use, and you can add not just text, but you can also add links. You can also add videos, anything that you need here in order to explain to students. So if you prefer not to give them any scaffolding and just an empty workspace, that's fine too, as long as you're going to describe it to them here in the instructions. But right now, we are working on actually moving every single functionality from the dashboard to the right side. We want to eliminate the dashboard and move everything here. So here, the project details. So here, if you click on the project details, then here you can change the image of the project. You can change the name, you can change the description. So everything is changeable in that way. And then, like I said, supporting materials that I showed you before, we moved it here right now. So right now you have a little bit of duplicity until we finish this, because this is still in progress. And we also have supporting, like I said, analytics. So if you want to see the analytics, then it opens up a big window. And here you can see this is how the analytics for a project that was the students already worked on looks like. So here you have the names of the students with different colors. And then when you hover over each of them, you can see on each date how much they contributed. This is how many actions they did. This is how many sessions they have been in and out. How many collaboration. Collaboration means that students are working together on the same object. So let's say one of them started a text box, and then the other student went in and read what they did, and it thought that they have something to contribute. And they will edit that and add something to it. You will see the system is going to record it as a collaboration, as well as if they comment on each other's work, on each other's object, that also is considered collaboration. We also used to have a chat tool, but we removed it because we got too many comments from teachers that it is a distraction. But we are going to restore it in a way that the default is going to be that you are not going to have it there. But if you want to turn it on, you can definitely turn it on by class. And then hours spent in the system, and then averages. The same information you will get in a table format here. And you also have the same pie chart that students are getting, you have down here. And on the left side, you have exactly a description of how many of the different objects your students did, how many text boxes, how many media, how many analysis styles, so on and so forth, everything is here. The other thing that you have, which is inside the workspace, is that every object when you click on the three dots here, there's something that's called show history. And show history will show you exactly who contributed what here to this object. Who added information here and what did they add and at what time. So that's an additional information. We are planning to move this show history also to the right side here. So it's going to be like another line item that says history of tab. And then you'll be able to see that in the report instead of having to go through every single object and checking out what is their history. So that's that. I think that I generally covered almost everything here. Yeah, I think I did. So do you have any questions for me or something that you want me to focus on more? One more thing, help. I'm going to sign out from this administrator's account and I'm going to sign in as a teacher. And I'm going to show you how you can reach out for help. So let's say that you are in this project and you are going to the workspace. And now you have this little blue circle with something that looks like a disk. And if you click on it, then it opens up a window. And here it says send a message. So if you want to send us a message, then you're going to say, you know, I need help or something, or whatever you type up for us. And I'm going to immediately get this message and I will, so I just got it and I will respond immediately. The other things that you can do is you can search our support articles here. Just type in a keyword and search is going to give you all the articles that are relevant. You can also search, go to our YouTube video library that we have. And actually I sent you a link to our YouTube video in the email that says sign up and sign in links. There is a link there that YouTube videos that you can access. And so you have all that available in here for a teacher. So any questions?
I don't think so. This all looks really good. Yeah, and it looks very useful for where our students are at.
Okay, sounds good. So you said that you're going to pay for it, right?
Yeah, I'm paying personally out of pocket.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is send you an invoice. Okay. And this offer is just for this academic year because of COVID.
Sure.
So if you want to use it next year, our pricing per teacher is $500 per year, and our pricing. The school can actually purchase it if only you are going to use it. Then the school can purchase it for you for $500 per year. If other teachers in the school, that will start to be too expensive for charging $500 per each teacher. And so we are charging by student license, and that is $10 per student per year.
Okay.
So,
yeah, and that may be something that we want to look into for next year.
Okay, perfect. So, all right, sounds good. So what I'm going to do when we finish this, I'm going to send you once the the recording is processed, I'm going to send you the video so you can always look back at it and see something that you forgot how I did, or you can always go back to the video. You also have those individual YouTube videos that are very short, and they go by functionality. So if you want to check just how to import my Google Classrooms, there is a video for that is just a few minutes, like 3-4 minutes. So you have both options. It's up to you. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. So let me just stop sharing and let me end this. And it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for being flexible.
Oh, wait a minute. I just sent it to you in via email, the invoice. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.